Slush, how you do, Buckaroos? How the heck are you? I'm just a tad early this time so I can fix what I need to fix before the proper starting time. Anyways, how are you, man? I had a couple of cocktails earlier, then took a pause for the cause. I wanted to have a couple brewskis with you. Oh, I forgot to do something. I just realized. There it is. All right. There we go. Now we are in business. All right, folks, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whisperer for the purposes of this video. I'm going to start with this one from Homestead Beer Co. out of Columbus, Ohio. Although I went to, this is from their Canal Winchester location. So Juicy IPA, Snake Juice, Juicy IPA, 6.5%. Had a couple beers there at the brewery. They're very good. I bought a couple to go. This one and their Pioneer Pilsner, which is really excellent, by the way. This is their Juicy. Oh man, a pleasant mix of citrus and tropical fruit notes. Although, in all honesty, the first thing I noticed right up front is some grapefruit zest and some orange zest, which typically with this style, the first, oh my God, that's good. First thing you notice with this style is the tropical fruit notes, but I'm getting a lot of citrus. That sip was almost all citrus. Oh my good Lord, that is wow. I did not expect that. Wow, that is really good, man. They don't give me any other information about the beer, which is a stone bummer, but that's a stone bummer, man. But it's really good. But I'm getting a lot of citrus actually. Very clean and drier than you might expect per style. Again, I noticed a lot of grapefruit and orange early on. I noticed a lot of grapefruit and orange finish. In the middle, yeah, you might find some of those tropical fruit notes that we talked about. You might feel pineapple, mango, passion fruit, etc. Might even find some stone fruit in there, to be honest with you. That's really between you and your taster, to be honest. But I am for a juicy IPA, I'm picking up more citrus than expected. I do feel like even though it refers to itself as a juicy, I feel like I'm picking up some West Coast IPA elements. It almost feels like a bit of a hybrid, if you will. Regardless, yeah, it's absolutely delicious, man. This is brilliant. Gosh, that's good. Man, that's really good. Anyways, Saturday, happy Saturday to all. I had a day off today and I'm off tomorrow and I go to work Monday and I'm off Tuesday to vote. Not going to get into politics on you. It's too crazy right now to even dip your toes in the water, if you will, because somebody gets offended by anything these days. I'm just going to see how it all turns out. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic and hope cooler heads prevail. Although I'm not expecting it, but I'm hoping for such. The thing is the reason I quit watching cable news or any news, to be honest with you, is that I can't change it one way or the other. I can watch these programs and worry about it, or I can look at the situation unfolding and worry about it, or not. I mean, I can't change it one way or the other. What's going to happen is going to happen, whether I give myself an ulcer over it or not. So I've tried to learn over the years not to sweat it, because what's going to happen is going to happen. Morons are going to be morons, and you can rarely stop that from happening. I'm just glad I got some beer and some good whiskey around me. So I'm gonna go do my thing on Tuesday. I'm gonna do my patriotic duty and see how it all turns out. And hopefully everything will be standing when I go back to work on Thursday. Let's see. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic, but we'll play it by ear. It's like watching Rome burn, but with Wi-Fi. You can see it all tumbling down around us, but there ain't a damn thing we can do about it. So I did have a good time in the Columbus area when we were there, and that was kind of the thing about this particular vacation. It was our 30th anniversary, so that was nice. It was also about, if things are going to go south, having one nice trip, right? Going to a part of the country my wife and I have never been to before and seeing things we never seen and enjoying it out there. I was pleasantly surprised going to a lot of the areas that I went to, seeing how inclusive they were. I mean, I hit 7 places in Indianapolis, and every one of them had pride flags up. Every one of the 7 places I went to, I felt good about that. And I think about every place I went to in Columbus was the same, which is partly why I'm cautiously optimistic because some of those areas maybe aren't known for being all that inclusive. But I think things might be better than we've been led to believe. I bought a shirt from Four Fingers Distillery in Indianapolis, mostly because they had their logo, but then they had the rainbow flag throughout it, and I like that. So I like the inclusiveness. So that's the main reason I bought the shirt. That and I just had a great experience in that distillery. They were friendly, knowledgeable. What I remarked a couple times to the bartenders about how I enjoyed or how I appreciated the inclusiveness. They say, "Yeah, we're getting better." They didn't. Nobody took full credit. Say, "Yeah, things are wonderful," but everybody said it is getting better. It hasn't always been this way, but things are getting better, and I like that. To be honest with you, that's that. Um, Being cautiously optimistic, things are getting better. It's not perfect, and there's going to be bigots no matter where you go, but you can be cautiously optimistic. That's what everybody kept saying. Well, things are getting better. All right, beer number two. This one. So I can get New Holland products here, but I don't remember seeing this one in my neck of the woods, which is why I picked it up at the Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati, because I didn't remember seeing it before. Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep Bourbon Barrel Aged Red Ale. Heavily fortified. The Keep is the last bastion standing between a brave night and heroic victory. Unless, excuse me, got a burp stuck right there. Oh, excuse me, there it is. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't get any on you. Sorry about that, man. Oh, excuse me. Unless, of course, they have a dragon. Crimson Keep is aged in bourbon barrels deep within the dragon's milk cellar. The deep red color is evidence of being battle tested with a recipe that spent over 1 year in trial and development. A smooth malt forward profile is highlighted by notes of toffee, stone fruit, and oak that lead to a pleasantly dry finish. Bourbon barrel aged. This one comes in at, I know it's here somewhere. Am I not seeing it now? Oh, 11% right there on the front, Tom. This one's at 11%. It's a great big bad mamma jamma. Oh man, that nose is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot going on. You've got that red ale, then you've got those bourbon barrel notes. So they tell you to look for notes of flavor profile highlighted by notes of toffee, sure, stone fruit. That's what throws me off a little bit. Those stone fruit notes, because you don't expect that in a beer like this. So you definitely feel those toffee notes. A lot of vanillas. We're going to run all the way through it. And oak that leads to a pleasantly dry finish, drier than you would expect. That's for sure. But it's that stone fruit that really throws you off. You're going to find that around the middle, but you don't expect stone fruit in a beer of this type. A lot of big oak in the finish. They don't mention vanilla, but you're definitely going to taste it in there. But it's that oak that really dries everything up. Keeps it from becoming too sweet on you. Oh man, that is nice. Oh yeah. So I picked up some beer here and there at some of the breweries that I went to, and then we hit a Meyer store. The second day we were in Columbus, so I bought a few things there because I knew I wasn't going to hit all the breweries, so I kind of guessed and just picked up a sampling of a few things just in case I didn't get to those breweries. But then when we left Columbus and we're heading towards home, we stopped in Cincinnati at that Jungle Gym. So once we got there to their beer section, I picked up a few more things of places that I knew I missed at that point. So I was mostly trying to pick up Ohio, Ohio beers, Ohio beers, Kentucky, Indiana. Uh, but then I found this one. Like I said, I do get some New Holland products here, but I don't remember seeing this one. And we get some Dragon's Milk stuff, but we don't get all the variants. So, and I'm a big red ale guy. I do like a big red. And being bourbon barrel aged and 11%, I picked up a 4-pack. But most of what I picked up, in fact, I think this might be the only one that wasn't from that immediate area, right? I was pretty careful what I was buying. At some point, my wife was pointing out some stuff for me to pick up. And I just said, I got to stop here. I've got too much stuff in there now. And we've got a small car. We were headed home, and we had that Prius pretty well maxed out at this point. And we already had we were going to put a lot of stuff in that cart other than beer. And I didn't want to, I just felt like I was buying too much beer anyway. Once I had over, I think I had maybe 4 6-packs and a couple 4-packs. I knew I had a lot of stuff in there. Never know, because I could have filled a cart with nothing but beer. If you want to be honest, feel like I better stop, even though I'd already bought a lot of stuff along the way. I figured I better stop now. We are talking about heading back in that direction next year if things work out. I'd like to spend more time in Cincinnati because there's a lot of breweries there I would like to get to, and there's some things there that she'd like to do. But besides, both of us would like to get to that Jungle Gyms again. But we've got to be careful because this time I couldn't, we spent about 3 hours in there, and quite frankly, we could have spent double that easy. But we needed to get headed home. So, but there's a lot of that store I didn't look at because I knew we couldn't buy it anyway. I mean, I didn't look at their fresh. I mean, I just took a glance over at their fresh meat department and it was huge. I glanced over at their seafood department and it was huge. Their cheese section is bigger than my living room here. So I mean, I didn't even gander in any of those areas because I knew I'd want to buy too much stuff. So what I'm getting at is if we spend any, hey, Rod, I didn't notice your messages till now. I was wandering on. Cheers. Town Jungle Gyms is a great spot. Let me know if you head back because we are actually moving. Oh, you are? No kidding. Next month. Okay. Well, if we get back next year, we're looking at August. So I will keep you in the loop. And to be more specific, Rod, I'm looking at mid-August. So once I firm up plans, I'll send you a message because it would be great to meet you in person. Would love to buy you a beer or two. But yeah, no, we love the Jungle Gyms. I could have. I'm I do most of the cooking at home. She does the baking, but I do most of the meals. Um, but yeah, the problem would be, well, I want to be in Cincinnati for a few days, so we'd almost like to go a little bit every day we're there. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but because I couldn't buy the perishable stuff till we were headed out of town. But I don't want to spend 8 hours. So go maybe 2 hours at a time, break the store up into sections. You'll buy this, buy all the dry goods, right? And then the day we're leaving town, go there and just hit the fresh sections, you know, buy all the beer and everything else ahead of time, and just go in. I'm going to hit the meat section, I'm going to hit the seafood, I'm going to hit the cheese, I'm going to hit the deli, and buy all that, you know. So I'm spending 2 hours per day rather than 10 hours in one day. So that was a problem for me. I started walking in that section and I picked up a couple bottles. I just threw my hands up and I walked out of the section. My wife says, you don't want to buy anymore? I said, no, I want to buy everything. And that's the problem because I knew I could spend at least an hour doing nothing but looking at hot sauce. But we needed to start heading home, and I didn't want to spend an hour looking at hot sauce. As it was, we were in the store for 3 hours. It was about to get. I was just getting engrossed looking at all the hot sauces. Said, oh my gosh, I could have spent that whole hot area, man. I could have spent at least an hour just in that one section. But yeah, so that's the thing is we we probably do want to spend a day. We may pick a day to spend almost a whole day in there, but again, leave out the fresh section, and then the day we're leaving town, go back and spend 2 hours just hitting, the meat, the seafood, the deli, the cheese. Just hit those sections, grab it, and get out of here because we've already bought that other stuff. And I guess I could, do some, do some reconnaissance, right? Go in and figure out what I want to buy. Then the last day, just go in and grab those things and go. But that was a problem. Yeah, I didn't allow myself to look at that stuff because I knew I'd want to buy, and there was no way we were able. Our car was too full. We were going to spend a night in Evansville. We just didn't have. I didn't have the ability to buy all that fresh stuff I wanted to, keep it cold, and get back to Springfield. Oh, I didn't know that. That's nice to know. I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know why I didn't know that. It was the Eastgate store we went to. I didn't realize there was a brewery right there. Did you remember seeing a brewery? There's a brewery there at the Eastgate store called Mount Carmel or Carmel. So anyway, yeah, if we're able to firm that up, I will let you know as soon as, and maybe, well, when I start looking at stuff seriously, once I know we're able to do it, I'm going to shoot some. How do I say this right? I'm going to let you help me find a hotel in the area that I need to be in. It's at about five. Oh, it's about 5 minutes away. So here's the thing: when we were there, when we first got there, it was just started raining. But by the time we left, I mean, it was all out storm. They were getting the remnants of Helene that day we were leaving town. And by the time we got on the freeway, we ended up getting shut down for about an hour and a half because there was semi wrecks on both sides of the freeway. So yeah, we weren't really looking for anything. We were just trying to, focus on not getting an accident. Because even though there was an accident on each side of us, people were nuts. I mean, we were stopped for a large period of time, but then when we started moving, there were still people trying to be crazy. It was just insane. Yeah, I mentioned it to Todd too that we might be able to get there. So I'm going to let him know. It'd be great to meet up with both you guys and meet somewhere at some point. If we could meet at the same time, that'd be awesome. But at least find a way to meet up with y'all. I actually looked into going to a Reds game. I'm a diehard Dodger fan, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for the Reds because of the big red machine in the 70s. But I looked into tickets and they were a little on the expensive side for at least the tickets that I would want to use. I mean, I'm too old to buy cheap seats and sit up in a bleacher. I ain't gonna do that. So I was looking at tickets and it was about I think it was $209 for the ticket that I'd want. And I just wasn't willing to do that. I didn't want to see a game that damn bad. Yeah, I think he was there either the same day I was there or not, either before or shortly after, because he mentioned he just loaded up on some stuff. So we may have just missed him that day. And I didn't realize he was so close to there, or I would have messaged him that we were there at that moment in time. But again, it was one of those things. I wanted to sit at the bar and have a couple beers. We kind of wanted to relax, but we knew we needed to get going. So I didn't do any of that. I didn't have a beer there. I didn't look at a lot of stuff because I knew we needed to get moving. And we spent 3 hours there and probably barely covered half the store. I mean, I had to intentionally skip some aisles because I knew if I walked down certain aisles, it was just going to get ugly. I mean, I think I only bought like 7 different spices, but the truth be told, I probably could have put 30 of those things in the cart because I made myself stop because we just walked in the store and saw that big display of Jungle Gym spices and went, oh shit. And after I just started chucking stuff in there, I said, okay, I just threw my hands up in there and said, we got to stop and walk through more of the store. Or we're going to be done right here. So yeah, I bought what I pick up. I found that they had something IPA seasoning, which I thought was odd, but I was curious, and I've used it on a couple products, and it's really good. So I've used it on pork, but I was curious, and so I used it on some. I used it on some fish, and it really works well on fish because it's mostly citrus products in that rub. I think it'd be good on any pork. Like I said, I used it on whitefish and it worked. I don't think I try it on beef because I don't think it'd hold up, but it works great on the lighter products. I picked up some Al Pastor seasoning, which is awesome. Picked up some dried parsley, some pizza seasoning, which is just a nice kind of all-purpose seasoning there. But yeah, I mean, going back to the hot sauces, I could have spent almost all day in that section. I grabbed a couple of things, put them in the cart. So no, I had to make myself stop and just turn around and walk out because there was just too much there. There was just too much in the store that we needed to see, and we just didn't have time to be there all day. Oh, mercy. Oh, yeah, let me show it to you. So I picked this one up in Cincinnati because I do get some I get some New Holland products here, but I've never seen this one here. It's the Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep Bourbon Barrel Aged Red Ale. Let me show you that bottle there. Which is why I got it. It's at 11%. I just don't remember seeing that one here. We get some of their products, but I don't get all of the Dragon's Milk variants here. And it may be, well, here's the thing. Before our vacation, I quit going to the liquor store like 3 months ahead of time. So I have no idea what's available here. I haven't even gone since we've been back. So I have no idea. I haven't really looked at the beer section. Let me say that. Oh, excuse me. Since we've been back. So I'm not sure if it's available here. I just didn't remember seeing it. It's very good. Yeah, it's rather surprising. You don't really taste that 11%, which is interesting because it'll hit you, but you don't really taste it. You can taste those bourbon barrel notes for sure, but there's no boozy or hot notes per se. Yeah, when we left Canal Winchester, we were gonna head to Cincinnati, hit Jungle Gyms, stretch our legs and stuff, and then head into. We were staying at the Bally's in Evansville, but then we kind of got waylaid by that storm. So by the time we got to Evansville, we were kind of fried because it was a rather stressful drive. Well, my wife was driving, so it was more stressful for her. Um, we picked up an hour, so I made us reservations for 7:30, thinking that would give us plenty of time to do some sightseeing along the way. But we picked up an hour. We went from the East Coast time to Central time, and we still, I think we got to, by the time we got to the hotel, figured out where to park, got checked in, got our stuff in the room, it was about 7 o'clock. And we picked up an hour. We gained an hour, and it was still like 7 o'clock. So we got changed, got ready. We got to the restaurant about 7:15, a little bit ahead of our reservations, and they went ahead and got us in early. But Kavanaugh's at the river there at the Bally's was very nice. The service there was insanely good. The food we had was very good. Um, we were kind of we felt like we were hungry, but we'd been through a lot that day. Let me say that. And we got rained on, we got cold. We really hadn't had a chance to, really warm up. So when we got there, we looked at the menu. She saw French onion soup. I saw lobster bisque, and that's kind of what we went for because it just seemed good at the time. So well, let's get this. We'll see, then we'll order. Because all vacation long, we were getting an entree and splitting it, so we figured that's what we do. But we neither one of us at that point thought we could, between the soup and the bread that gave us, could eat an entree. So well, that's we decided just to. She had her soup and bread. I had my soup and bread, and then we just ordered a dessert. Where the desserts was a creme brulee, so we had that, and we didn't order a. We didn't order an entree because neither one of us felt like we could eat it, or neither one of us felt like we'd be able to enjoy it. To be honest, we were just so tired. We then went into the casino, and we were only in the casino an hour, so now we got to go. I was so tired. We went up to the room and just called it an evening. It's a nice room. And again, the service there was pretty good. It was just parking was really difficult there. It was figuring out where to go to park was a little bit stressful too, especially coming from dealing with what we had to before there, and it was. So we were out. By the time we got to our room, we were a little bit on the frustrated side, but it was all right. I'm gonna post your comment there. I was talking and didn't see it. Brew River Grill Kitchen is a spot. Oh, actually, I would love that. Yeah, my wife, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd be a big fan of. I'm going to look up their menu. But I think she's been checking places she would want to go in Cincinnati. I know of a handful of breweries already. In fact, I'd already planned on hitting the brewery distillery out there, but then when we found out about the Jungle Gyms, I didn't even tell my wife about that plan. We just decided to do the Jungle Gyms, and I hope to hit that one because I really wanted to hit that brewery distillery. So we'll figure it all out. But we like to get out there. I'm not going to have a long time next year, not as long as vacation as we had this year. But we hope to spend 4 days in Cincinnati. That we're only going to take 6 days next year. But yeah, I hope to have 4 days in Cincinnati to just kind of relax and kind of check out certain spots, hit some breweries, hit a couple distilleries, let her hit the places she wants to hit, few places we want to hit together. Probably mostly Jungle Gyms, right? We got to get to Jungle Gyms. That place is amazing. I mean, I'll be honest, we're having the bar and food in there. We could have spent a day in there. I mean, we could have easily spent at least 10 hours in there. If I had a way to keep everything cold, man, there is no telling. But I think that's what we're going to figure out or we're going to have to figure out to do is get all the dry stuff. I guess go there one day and buy all the dry goods, and then on our way out of town, go back and just get all the perishables. Maybe you can find something out for me though. We need to figure out where to get some dry ice. Maybe you can tell me where in Cincinnati I get dry ice, and then when we get there, we'll get some dry ice, put it in the cooler. Southern Dandy, good evening. How are you? I'm about to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I am Tom, the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, premier wisdom man. All around good guy, Slash. Hey, Rod, though, seriously, if you know where in Cincinnati to get dry ice, just let me know where so we can get some dry ice in the coolers and grab those perishables, and everything will be good. All right, have a good one, guys. Lunch it.